The story begins with a wealthy man named Song, who works as a manager at Busan's Baron Bank. One morning, he gets ready for work and leaves home with his daughter Sasha and young son Tom. His plan is to drop them off at school first and then head to the office. As soon as they sit in the car, Song notices a strange smell, but he doesn't pay much attention to it. After saying goodbye to his wife, he starts driving. A little while later, he hears a phone ringing nearby and asks his daughter to pick it up. She says it's not her phone. When Song checks the glove compartment, he finds a phone there, which surprises him. He assumes it might belong to the driver. As soon as he answers the phone, an unknown man on the other end says that he has confidential information about Song's car. Song assumes it's a scam and hangs up. But then he notices the phone's wallpaper. It shows a photo of his own family. This shocks him. When he asks Sasha about the picture, she says it was taken last year and that their mother had uploaded it on Facebook. Now Song is even more confused about whose phone this is. Suddenly, the phone rings again. This time, the caller reveals that he knows everything about Song and his position at the bank. Then he drops a shocking revelation. He says he has planted a pressure-sensitive bomb under the seats, and if anyone gets out of the car, it will explode instantly. Song thinks it's a bad joke and disconnects the call. A little later, Song reaches a gas station. Just as he is about to step out of the car, the phone rings again. The caller asks if he noticed any strange smell. At this point, Song becomes genuinely scared. The man reveals that he has been tracking him for a long time, and if he steps out of the car, his children will die within seconds. Just then, a gas station employee approaches and yells at Song to get out and fill the fuel instead of wasting time. A terrified Song gives him some money and asks him to do it instead. He continues driving and, as instructed by the caller, reaches under his seat, where he actually finds a bomb. Now he is completely panicked. The caller explains that he has the detonator, and if Song tries to contact the police, he will immediately trigger the explosion. Desperate, Song asks what he wants. The caller demands 1.7 billion won to be transferred to his account. Song says he doesn't have that much money, but the caller reminds him that he's a manager at a big bank, so arranging it shouldn't be difficult. Soon, they arrive near the children's school. Tom's friends come near the car to meet him, but Song, in fear, tells his son not to get out and quickly sends the other kids away. The children are confused about what's happening. The caller then forces Song to tell the truth, and he finally reveals to his kids that there's a bomb under their seats. Hearing this, both children are terrified. At that moment, Song receives a call from his colleague, who is also panicking. It turns out he received the same call, and there's a bomb in his car as well. Song asks for his location and soon meets him. He sees that his colleague's wife is also sitting in the car, but she wants to get out because the day is very important for her. She doesn't believe the bomb story. Song calmly tries to convince her to stay inside for a while, and she reluctantly agrees. Meanwhile, a man approaches and starts yelling at Song because his car is blocking the road. Song apologizes and moves his car forward to park. However, on the other side, his colleague's wife gets tired of waiting. Despite being warned, she steps out of the car. The very next moment, the car explodes violently, killing both Song's colleague and his wife on the spot. Everyone present, including Song's family, is completely shaken. This confirms that the threat is real. The children go into shock. Due to the explosion, a piece of metal gets lodged in Tom's leg, and he starts bleeding and screaming in pain. Song is now utterly terrified. The caller contacts him again and repeats his demand for money. Seeing his son in such a condition, Song is forced to agree. He begs the caller to at least let him take his son to the hospital first. But the caller coldly replies that he doesn't care whether the boy lives or dies. Instead of showing mercy, the man increases his demand and tells Song that he pay the amount for his coworker as well. Hearing this, Song argues that withdrawing such a huge amount will raise suspicion in the bank. However, the caller reveals that he already knows how much money Song has in his overseas accounts. Defeated, Song calls one of his juniors and tells him that he has found a new investment opportunity. He instructs him to immediately convince their VIP clients to invest. The junior agrees and talks to several clients, but the money collected is still not enough to meet the caller's demand. Frustrated, Song asks for the list of VIP clients so he can speak to them personally. After some time, he talks to their most important client and tries to convince her that this is a once-in-a-lifetime investment opportunity. The woman becomes interested and mentions that she has just sold a piece of land. However, she says she needs to consult her husband before making such a big decision. Song insists urgently that there is no time, but this makes the woman suspicious, and she refuses to proceed. At that moment, the caller says they will start with cash and orders Song to call his wife and arrange the money. With no other option, Song immediately calls his wife and tells her to withdraw all the money from the bank and deliver it to a specific location. She is shocked, especially since she can hear her son crying on the phone, which frightens her even more. Song reassures her that everything is fine, and Sasha also tells her mother that they are okay. Even then, Song's wife says she will inform the police, but Song strictly forbids her. Desperate, he begs her to do exactly as he says, and eventually, she agrees. Meanwhile, at the police station, officers are investigating the earlier explosion. They review CCTV footage showing Song talking to his coworker, and it appears as if they are arguing. They also notice that Song moved away just before the explosion, which raises suspicion that he already knew about it. As a result, they begin to suspect that Song himself might be the criminal who killed his colleague due to some personal conflict. On the other hand, Song soon arrives in front of the bank, where he sees that his wife has also arrived, but she has brought a friend along, which makes Song nervous. His wife goes inside the bank to withdraw the money, while her friend knocks on the car window to talk to Song. Terrified, Song signals her to stay away and quickly drives off. After withdrawing the money, Song instructs his wife to place the bag in front of a mailbox, as directed by the caller. She does so, but shortly after, she tells Song that a tall man is approaching her and staring at her in a strange way. Hearing this, Song rushes toward her location and tells her to leave immediately. However, by the time he arrives, the police, assisted by his wife, have already arrested the man. Song feels relieved, thinking that he and his family might finally be safe. But his hope is shattered in the very next moment. The caller is still on the phone. He says that involving the police was a big mistake. Then he starts a countdown, and Song and his children prepare for death. Suddenly, instead of the car, the mailbox explodes, filling the area with smoke and fire. Fortunately, Song's wife survives and is able to speak to him. Terrified, Song immediately drives away. The caller continues demanding money, insisting that he must be paid at any cost. At the same time, the police review another CCTV footage showing Song present at the second blast location as well. This convinces them that Song is behind all these incidents, and they spread out to find him. Meanwhile, Song calls his junior again and learns that the full amount has still not been collected. In anger, Song yells at him and then tells the caller that he will transfer whatever money he has. Just let his children go. But the caller clearly refuses any deal unless he receives the full amount. Meanwhile, Song's son Tom is losing a lot of blood and is on the verge of losing consciousness. Song begs again to be allowed to take his son to the hospital, but the caller shows no mercy. Soon, a police officer approaches Song and asks him to step out of the car and talk. Song refuses and speeds off in search of a hospital. The police take strict action and begin chasing him with multiple patrol cars and helicopters. After an intense chase, the police finally surround Song, leaving him with no escape. An officer orders him to step out of the car. At this point, Song is forced to reveal the truth that there's a bomb under the seats. He also threatens that if they don't let him go, he will blow himself up along with his children. This shocks all the officers. Soon, the bomb squad is called, and the chief officers order a sniper to shoot Song as soon as the children are safely out of the car. A female officer approaches Song and begs him to let the children go, but a distressed Song refuses and shows her the phone screen, which is still on call. The officer realizes how delicate the situation is. She gives him water bottles and a walkie-talkie so the police can listen in. When the police move a little away, Song places the walkie-talkie near the phone and tries to talk to the caller, but there is no response. Then he receives a message from the caller, instructing him to throw the walkie-talkie out first. Helpless, Song does exactly that, while the police watch in shock. He then looks around at the crowd gathering nearby and begins to realize that the caller must be someone from the crowd nearby. He honks the car horn, and the same horn sound is heard from the caller's phone, proving that the man is close. A few moments later, Song notices a man in the crowd talking on a phone, but he can only watch helplessly and cannot inform the police. The caller then tells Song that if he had lived a simple life, none of this would have happened. He asks Song to remember events from 6 years ago when he used to work at Barron Bank. But before he can say more, the call suddenly disconnects because the police have blocked all signals in the area, cutting off the caller's contact. An officer asks Song for his phone, and cleverly, Song hands over his personal phone instead of the one given by the kidnapper. When the bomb squad inspects the car, they discover that the bombs are only under the front seats, not the back ones. This means the children are safe. Tom is immediately taken for medical help. However, Sasha refuses to leave her father alone. When the police try to get her out, she notices a sniper aiming at her father from a distance. Seeing this, she makes a shocking decision and runs to the front seat, meaning she can no longer leave the car. Song becomes emotional and asks why she did that and how she knew about the sniper. Sasha replies that she will not leave her father. Meanwhile, the female officer argues with the police chief, saying that placing a sniper scared the girl. But the chief insists that Song is the real culprit because no call records from any unknown number were found on his phone. Soon, a young man named Sam arrives and claims to be Song's brother, asking for permission to meet him. The police believe he might convince Song to release his daughter, so they allow him. But as soon as Sam reaches Song, he reveals a shocking truth. He is the real caller. Enraged, Song grabs him, but Sam threatens to trigger the bomb. He says he is not afraid to die because he has nothing left to lose, and these innocent people will die with him. Terrified, Song promises to arrange all the money and begs him to at least let his daughter go. Surprisingly, Sam agrees and temporarily deactivates the bomb, allowing Sasha to safely exit the car. But then Sam reveals another shocking twist. He had already activated a timer bomb, and only 18 minutes remain. He says he is taking Sasha with him, and if the money is not delivered in time, he will kill her. Saying this, Sam leaves with the girl. The police do not stop him, believing he is Song's brother. Song immediately chases after him in desperation, with multiple police vehicles following behind. Meanwhile, Song's wife sees everything on TV and is shocked when a stranger claims to be Song's brother. She quickly calls the police and informs them that the man is not his brother. But by then, it's too late, as Sam has already disappeared. Later, Song calls one of his bosses and begs for money, saying it's a matter of life and death. But the boss refuses, saying Song has already taken a large amount from clients without permission, and now the bank will file a fraud case against him. Completely broken, Song makes one last attempt and calls his wife, asking her to transfer money from all accounts to the caller. Sam then calls Song and tells him to come to a dock near some cargo ships. Seeing this place, Song remembers his crime from 6 years ago. We then see a flashback. 6 years earlier, Song was an ordinary employee at Bear Bank. At that time, the bank had deceived chemical factory workers into investing through false and manipulative marketing. When the market suddenly crashed, all their life savings were lost. Among those investors was a poor pregnant woman who had invested everything she had. Instead of helping, Song destroyed all evidence and covered up the bank's fraud. As a reward for this dirty act, his bosses promoted him to branch manager. The pregnant woman came to Song, crying and begging for help to recover at least some of her money. But blinded by greed, Song ignored her. Now it is revealed that the pregnant woman was Sam's wife, and today Sam has come to take revenge for his family. Back in the present, Sam is driving with Sasha when he receives a call informing him that $1 billion has been deposited into his account. He explains that this happened because he won a legal case against the fraudulent bank, giving the factory workers a chance to rebuild their lives. Soon, Song arrives at the same dock near the chemical factory, where protest signs against the bank are visible. There, he sees his daughter tied up in another car. Filled with guilt, Song apologizes to her and admits that his greed led him to commit terrible sins, and now he is facing the consequences. Sam arrives and sits with Song in the front seat. Song again apologizes and promises to fight for all the victims. But Sam refuses. He reveals that he and his wife had filed a case against the bank, and to fight that case, they had taken a loan from another bank. This trapped them in debt, and eventually, his wife couldn't bear it anymore. She died along with their unborn child. In one moment, Sam lost everything. Then Sam orders Song to drive the car into the water so that the explosion happens away from his daughter. Helpless, Song drives the car into the sea. Before the bomb explodes, the car sinks underwater. Sam loses consciousness, and Song tries to save him but fails to pull him out. Moments later, the bomb explodes. Somehow, Song survives and is rescued by the police. Later, when he asks about Sam, he learns that unfortunately, Sam has died. After this incident, Song decides to change his life. He vows to fight for all the innocent workers. Soon, he comes forward publicly and confesses all the bank's frauds and his own crimes. He admits that he was the one who destroyed the real evidence. His testimony becomes enough to punish the guilty. In the end, we see Song driving when his boss calls him, begging him to stop and even offering his job back, asking him not to testify against them. But Song hangs up without listening, making it clear that he will not stop until justice is served. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.